There's been a bit of a shift around on the grid since the last race, but the mean green Lamborghini of John Seal remains on pole position. It's endurance time, so are you sitting comfortably? Let's go racing.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm not sure it's possible to sit comfortably when the excitement builds like this for the pit stop race now. So it's 50 minutes and John Seal does indeed have pole position, this time with Seamus Jennings for company. Graham Tilley, Bob Berridge on row 2, Tom Webb, Lachy Christophorou, Sander Mortensen and Nigel Mustall. 5th row is Nick Moss and Matt Le Breton. On the 6th row we've got Brendan Aribe and John Whitehouse, Chris Murphy and Callum Jenkins on row 7, Simon Orange and Brent Millage, David Franklin and Steve Burt on the 9th row. Ivan Milutinovic and James Simons should have been on the 10th row, but he's got a problem with that Evora. Mal Sanford on the 11th row, and actually alongside him, thankfully after repairing their car, is the number 18 Ferrari of Gary Redman. So they've worked very, very hard to get that car back out after this morning's first corner incident. Right, so here we go, 50 minutes of racing with a pit stop thrown in, and John Seal desperate to make this pole position count, and he has done exactly that, because tucking in behind him goes Seamus Jennings, side by side for the two GTC cars, but the inside line was taken by Tom Webb in that blue number 13 Lamborghini, and he's forced Lachy Christophorou wide, and that has actually dropped him back a little bit at the moment through the very rapid Maggots and Beckett section of the Silverstone GP circuit. And look at that coming through the field. Both Ginettas, both Team Hard Ginettas there fighting with each other, but through the field as well. And it's the 21 car of Simon Orange that has the nod at the moment over 79 Callum Jenkins. Different groups, Callum Jenkins GTA, GTH for Simon Orange in the 21. And they're still going at it all the way down Hanger Straight in towards the right-hander of Stowe, side by side in fact, but the inside line's going to be taken by 21 Simon Orange, and he keeps the power down, and down through the Vale they go. You can see in the background that Gary Redman, number 18, the red, white and green Ferrari, still fighting. And talk about fighting, look at the two Ginettas, they're still side by side as they got to the end of the Vale in towards Club, but I think they stayed in the same order somehow. At the moment it looks like John Seal's trying to pedal away from the rest of the field as quickly as possible, just as Gary Redman's trying to get through the field just as quickly as possible. His next target is the number 17 car, Matt Le Breton at the wheel of that purple and luminous yellow McLaren this time round. Let me guess, is that the Team Hard Ginettas? Yes, it is. They're still going side by side, and it's still the 21 GTH car of Simon Orange. Wow, this is one heck of a battle, but I'd imagine Team Hard have got their hearts in their mouth at the moment, but it's working okay so far, so don't panic. Sander Mortensen in the background there, he is staying with the GTC cars ahead of him. That is a very old GTB car, and he's doing wondrous things there. It's only the second time he's racing this car. And a spin there for the 21 car. Simon Orange, what a shame, he'd been fighting so well. And now we've got Matt Le Breton up the inside of Brent Millage, and he's through. That's at the loop, isn't it? And trying to follow him through goes the number 12 car of Steve Burt, but not able to do it, so he tucks himself that Aston Martin behind the Porsche Cayman of Brent Millage, but that was very, very close. There is the repaired Gary Redman number 18 car. Round Luffield he goes, ready to complete yet another lap, just ahead of a slightly errant by the looks of it there, number 24, Brendan Aribe, certainly a different line. There is the 66 car of Ivan Milutinovic, and through comes the 21 car. Nice move up the inside by the GTH car of Simon Orange. Different groups again, but he still had to make that move and did a good job. Brent Millage has now got Callum Jenkins, number 79, trying to get through, and wow, round the outside. What a fantastic move that was. And nice and cleanly done there. And as they make their way down Hanger Straight, that was a slightly unusual place to do it, but powered his way around the outside. I don't know whether it's a slight issue for Brent. Probably not, because he's now trying to come back up the inside of Callum Jenkins, but Callum just sweeps across the nose, taking the fastest line round through Stowe. And it's David Franklin that's now catching up and trying to challenge the fellow Porsche of Brent Millage. Here is Graham Tilley, sort of mirrors largely full of the GTC car of Tom Webb, again trying to do a giant killing act as they came down Hanger Straight there, but not able to close in just yet. Ooh, just a slightly wiggle of the nose there by the number 18 Gary Redman Ferrari as he's closing in on the Balfe Motorsport number 25 McLaren of Nick Moss. And yes, I was about to say he should be able to get through on the start-finish straight, and he's done exactly that. Gets the power down, through he goes. Different classes, GTC for the number 18 car, and of course a GTH car with Nick Moss at the wheel of that McLaren, so you'd expect him to do it. Oh, now we've got the lappery going on, and Graham Tilley is trying to keep the number 13 car behind him. Again, different groups, but doesn't matter, and just compromised there on the exit. Nothing wrong by the back markers, but just wrong place, wrong time. Tilley just couldn't get the power down quick enough, but he's done it. He's passed David Franklin now in the 911 Porsche at the moment, and very wide there through the right-hander of Brooklands, and that meant that he couldn't really have a look up the inside of Graham Tilley through the left-hander of Brooklands, the right-hander of Luffield. So he just sits himself behind as it stands at the moment. Massive lead for John Searle, isn't it, at the moment? Look at this great... here is the worst-case scenario now, is that these two, it's not just about when you encounter back markers. The worst case is battling back markers side by side. Through goes Tom Webb, and he gets past Graham Tilley. Now they've got to pick their way through these battling back markers. They go one way, past the number 79 car they go, and there's the 17, and there's contact. I don't think that Graham Tilley realised that the number 17 McLaren had got past the 79 Ginetta of Callum Jenkins. He was aware that he'd got past the Ginetta, swept across ready to take the racing line for Stowe, and all of a sudden, unbeknownst to him, the 17 car had made the move through as well. That is a real shame. Matt Le Breton took it a real blow to the nose there, basically, on his car, and we've got to hope that both of those cars are able to continue. Certainly Graham Tilley's still going as it stands at the moment, and Tom Webb gets to breathe some fresh air. Into the pits comes John Searle, and this time he's handing over to Marcus Clutton for the second half of the race. And there is Graham Tilley. No, he isn't okay. That's a puncture at the very least. 3 wheels on his wagon as it stands at the moment, as Marcus Clutton jumps into the 55 car. There goes Fulvio Mussi now at the wheel of the number 18. Brendan Reed on his own. Oh no, and a safety car. This is always a nightmare situation when you have the safety car coming out at the point where people are taking their pit stops. The field is now going to get closed up together, so basically the ones that haven't pitted are going to get, in effect, a free pit stop because they're a lap ahead. Ooh, well done, Nick Moss, for waiting when he just saw that Frank Mortensen in number 3 was going. There's Ivan Milutinovic, number 66, being released. David Franklin still being looked at. The wheels being tightened, good, on the number 13 car, Tom Webb. And we're back underway, racing again as they're all gaggled together with release. But there, look, at the back is the number 33 car of Seamus Jennings. He is a lap ahead of the lead cars of that gaggle, which, of course, at the moment is now Marcus Clutton. But he's a lap behind, so it means that it is that dreaded free pit stop for the ones that hadn't stopped. It's just nothing you can do in those situations. Ooh, great move there by Fulvio Mussi, the pro driver at the wheel of that number 18 now, just scything through the field. Adam Carroll now at the wheel of the 27 Ferrari there, pulling away from Brendan Aribe. 23, that is actually Craig Dolby at the wheel of that. Nigel Mustill was poorly, so didn't start the race, but Craig Dolby jumped in at the point of the pit stops. There is 21 still trying to fight through. That will now be Josh Jackson at the wheel of that one, fighting with David Franklin, the 911 Porsche. And of course Marcus... very, very wide there for Fulvio Mussi. Looked like there was a bit of contact there. I'm not sure whether the 17 car, Rob Young, even saw that the lead car was coming through there and just swept across his nose. And Seamus Jennings just threw the anchors out the back, realising there's no point. That's another one that's benefited. Tom Webb has benefited from when the safety car came out. So he is actually fighting directly second on the road overall. Now Seamus Jennings does get past the number 17 McLaren, thankfully. So that's okay. He's through. Brent Millage is his next target now, 54 Porsche Cayman. Putting a lap on it. Of course, it might be a bit confusing for these drivers, not realising that these cars are putting a lap on them. And wow, Tom Webb just had to jink towards the side. Great awareness by Tom Webb there to see that one coming. Down the Wellington Straight, the left-hander of Brooklands, and then the long, never-ending right-hand sweep of Luffield. Goes Seamus Jennings with that blue number 13 Lamborghini closing down on him. He just can't shake that pesky GTC car. The GTC Lamborghini is not as quick in a straight... is as quick as the GT3 number 55 Lamborghini in a straight line in a lot of instances. But that GT3 55 car of John Searle & Co. is able to take the corners a lot quicker. There's Frank Mortensen now at the wheel of the number 3 Marcus Matt. Oh no, David Franklin His bad luck this weekend continues. Another one with 3 wheels on his wagon. And this is a great fight going on now at the lead. They're both leading their respective groups, but they're both racers. They don't care. They want to fight. Coming down through the Vale now by the looks of it. Ooh, and Tom Webb was trying to show his nose up towards the left-hander, but that's a very tight part of the circuit. So he's now trying to get the power down through Club onto the international start-finish straight. Oh, and he's just dropped the tail end out. He got on the power a little bit too soon, I would imagine, there onto the marbles. Spun the rear end round. Is he going to be able to get going? It looks like he should do, unless there's a cause or effect argument. Last lap, here we go, and he just needs to make sure he stays in the lead of GTC. Doesn't matter about the overall race, but Seamus Jennings, here he comes. Just behind him is Adam Carroll. But that doesn't matter for him. He's coming round to take the checkered flag and takes a GTO, an overall victory. He's going to be absolutely delighted with that one. There's no question. So it is the 33 car of Seamus Jennings takes the win. Second place is Tom Webb, which means he also takes GTC. John Seal comes home in third. Gary Redman up to fourth place overall. Lucky Christopher. Nick Moss wins GTH in sixth. Seventh is Sander Mortensen and wins GTB. In eighth position was Brendan Reeve, John Whitehouse, Steve Burt, Simon Orange, Brent Millage. 13th place and GTA victory goes to the 79 car of Nick Scott Dickinson and Callum Jenkins. Ivan Militonovic and Mal Samford rounds out your finishers. Fantastic race, slightly kiboshed by the safety car. A few lost out, a few gained. The nature of racing, but still happy drivers there on the podium and spraying the champagne. What has that done to the championship? Well, they arrived here as champions, leading the championship, and they still are. 370 points to the 44 McLaren of Steve Russell and John Whitehouse. Lucky Christopher and Adam Carroll in second. John Seal, Jamie Stanley in third place now. Tom and James Webb in fourth. Chris Prosser and Steve Chandler fifth place. Rounding out the top six, Josh Jackson and Sam Randon in the Team Hard Racing.
Seamus, what a fantastic finish.
Thank you. It was a fantastic race, really, all round. I was P2 at the start. John Seal and the Lambo got in front fine. So I just tagged on to him. I kept pushing. And as you know, it's a pit stop race, and some of the guys, sure it was pro drivers. So John and quite a few of the guys, they came in to swap over under their pro. But as that was happening, a safety car was called just immediately after they'd pitted. And of course, that's immediately the time I pitted. So I just sat in the pit box for my allotted time and then back out again. But it meant I was able to catch up to the safety car trail, which put me nearly a lap ahead of everyone else. So the advantage of a professional driver didn't work today.
Yeah, good scrap at the end there. Tried my best, but it was a tough race. Too tough, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But just trying everything I got to with the little tyres I had left to try and get ahead of him, but it just wasn't to be.
It's a family affair and it worked well for you.
It really did today, and it's been a great experience to be here at this fantastic track with a fantastic team. Top Cats Racing has done it so good for us, and they welcomed us so hard. And we didn't made it easy for them because we crashed the car a couple of times, and they have had a lot of jobs to do.
But a great result.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to win us 2 generations. It's something special, something most people don't get to experience, and the intensity of the racing environment and so on and so forth. It's great stuff.
We're happy.
Yeah.
Came away with second yesterday in the pit stop race. Unfortunately, we had a compressor issue, so got all that sorted. And today we've made clean sweep of wins. 2 wins in the sprint race and pit stop race. And absolutely over the moon with the work that Nick's done and the team and everyone around us has done. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, with the issue that we had in P2 on this pit stop race, it's just made us more motivated for today. So we really wanted to come back and make sure we did P1. Cam did a fantastic job in the sprint, so it just makes it all more satisfying to be steadier on the top for our class for the pit stop race.
Well, that's it from Silverstone. I hope you enjoyed that nail-biting finish and all the racing from this iconic track. We're going to be at another one next time, Brands Hatch. But until then, for now, it's goodbye from the GT Cup.